Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. Today's exciting episode is a sewing vlog. I did so much hand sewing, it is ridiculous, and there's still loads to go. I'll get there eventually.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
So last episode I made the 2 silver jackets and I started beading one of them, and as you can see, I just filmed this. I haven't done anything else to these 2 jackets. I just left them on the sideboard, and I was going to do some more on the emerald green one, but that specific type of beading is so difficult and you have to be incredibly patient. Oh, and I also wanted to do some alterations to the jackets, because the 2 silver ones were 2 variations on Burda 6120, and then at the end of that video I was like, I want to do some with long sleeves, 3/4 sleeves, shorter sleeves, and I also sort of want to do a rounded sleeve so it's longer on the outside, but on the inner sleeve it's not as long, so that way the beading will be. Anyway, I'll get to that bit at the end. So in another sewing vlog last week or the week before, I had finished these 2. So I actually made them, did all the machine sewing, cut them out, pinned them together, did the machine sewing last month, right at the end of last month, but there was a lot of hand sewing left to go. So I've been doing that and taking a break from that emerald and silver jacket. And yeah, so this one is felt, and so I also did, so I've done a couple of them. I had a whole bunch of them that I made, but I didn't do the hand sewing on, and the hand sewing is the bit that takes forever. Well, cutting out, because I'm going to bead these jackets. They've got 2 layers of netting plus 1 layer of the outer fabric. This felt one is going to be, my grey flower jacket, the one with all the fabulous chandelier beading on the sleeves and around the hem of the jacket and around the collar, actually, the neckline. Well, anyway, that kind of distracts from the fact that it was all originally flowers, and it's just they're on a felt base. This is a close-up of it. So yes, I've made this peach one here, and I've got some yellow, orange, peach and lemon flowers, and I was thinking of breaking them up and using them on various jackets, but I'm going to use them all on the peach felt, I think. And then this is another one. So this is beige and blue and white and with black outlines, and there's little storks or ibis birds in there, as well as some paisley and some floral motifs. So yeah, again, I made them. I think I ended up making, because I had this mad idea of I want to finish 9 things each month. So I had 2 things that I finished last month. So I rushed and tried to make 7 jackets. So I cut them out, I made them, but I didn't do the hand sewing. So this is me just doing the hand sewing on those 7. Plus I had 4 other ones for 11 total. And so this is me finishing the hand sewing on the January ones, plus the 4 that I'm making for February. This one here, it's going to have beading on the blue bits, and it's just going to be so cute. So like each of the little flower prints is going to be walled off into separate little squares. And yeah, so those were the ones I finished before I started filming. And this one I'd mostly finished, and I was like, but I was worried I was going to lose the light if I completely finished it. So anyway, I have finished. I'll show you to you in a second. But at this point, I remembered that some of you have asked to see the inside of my jackets, and no, then you asked why I didn't show them. If it was because they're messy, no, you can't. If you are messy in your needlework, then your work ages too quickly. You have to be really, really neat. So the back basically has to be cleaner than the front when you do beading or embellishment, because the lining of the jacket sort of The lining of the jacket does protect all your stitches, but it's still best that all the threads are perfect. So just practice a bit, and if it's wrong, just cut it out and redo it. That's the great thing about doing things properly instead of just sticking beads on or anything. When you stitch them on, if you make a mistake or it's not quite good enough, you just undo it, carefully cut it, undo all the threads, and you can do it again. But yeah, so that is what they look like on the inside. And once all the beading is finished, I will cut out some silk and I will make the lining for the jacket, and then I will have to hand stitch it in. If you're not doing beading on your jacket, then you can make your outer jacket and your lining at the same time, and you generally you sew them together at the neckline, and that's how they're joined. But if you want to do beading, it's much easier, and this is me, I finally finished that last one. It's much easier to make the outer jacket first, do all the beading without having to sort of keep constantly lifting up the silk of the lining. And because silk is really buttery and soft, so it's sometimes you accidentally stitch through the lining without even knowing it because it's so soft and smooth, and so it's very frustrating. So it's easier to just make the whole outer jacket, bead it, and then add the lining in, make the lining and add it in. So these baggier jackets, I can use rayon for the lining, but with the more fitted jackets, I have to use silk because silk is the proper thing to use as a lining. And these are the ones that I still haven't finished the hand stitching for. I think I've got, is it only 4? This is me showing you the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough green beads to do. I kind of want to get dark green beads, light green beads, and red beads, and make little caterpillars, like beaded ones, but we'll see. Anyway, so these are the ones I've still got to do. And this one here, I was going to do khaki and dark red beading on it, but look how cute the pink bows look on there. So I'm not sure. But I will do all the hand stitching first because, oh my gosh, that takes so long. And while I'm doing that, while I hand stitch each one, I sort of think about all the different ways it could be beaded. So what I think of earlier sometimes changes dramatically. This is me reminding myself that I still have to do a collections video for everything I made in September, October, November, December. That's going to be one video, and then January and February are going to be combined into another video. But I have to finish all that hand sewing first. And I've also cut out, and I got a bit bored with all that hand sewing. So you know how I mentioned at the start of this video and in the previous episode how I like these 2 jackets, but I wanted to make different versions of them. So I wanted to do lots of different sleeve lengths and make the torso a different length as well. So I drafted some more pattern pieces and I've cut out some more. So this is a satin and it's a jacquard, so the pattern is woven into the fabric, and that one's going to have 3/4 sleeves. This is another one, it's beige, and it's or sand color, and it's also got 3/4 sleeves and the standard torso with a slight rise at the back. This one here has puff sleeves, and it's my gingerbread one. I didn't end up getting around to making my gingerbread house jacket I'd made one in the 2 previous years. I'd made one, but last December I didn't get around to making one. So that's that one, and it's just going to have slightly puffy sleeves so it looks gingerbread house-ish. This one has long sleeves. So when I made the actual reversible jacket, I liked the long sleeve, but it was a little bit too long, so it's like an inch shorter. This one is the puff sleeve. It's the chicken coop one with the roosters. And so it's going to have puff sleeves and a standard length body of the jacket or torso. And then So I wanted one that's going to have flowers on it and one that's going to have like beads on it. And this is a holly. Yeah, I'm just using up all my Christmas prints. This one is full length sleeves, and I think the front is normal length, standard length, but I didn't quite have enough to do the back. So the back is cropped. So it's more like the ones that I cut out in December where the front is longer than the back. And yeah. So, and then, the poinsettia one. This is beautiful. I love this sort of tealy colour of the background foliage in there. It's like forest green, but also teal in there. It's really pretty. So that one's got long sleeves and a standard front and back of the torso. So I also have to make ones that are short or cropped, and then a medium one that sort of splits the difference between the standard torso and the cropped one. And I might use this fabric, or I might use a different fabric first, because I can't decide if I want to make one long sleeve jacket out of this fabric or two cropped ones. So I'll probably do the two cropped ones first with really short sleeves, and one with a mid-length torso and maybe those curved sleeves. I think those are the other two that I have to do. So I've cut out almost all of those ones. Now I have to cut out all the layers of netting, and then I can start putting those ones together. But I also have all the hand stitching on these ones to go as well. So I have plenty to be going on with, but it is nice to have loads of different colours. But yeah, the ones that I just cut out, there's lots of greens in there because, yes, I love the snowdrops, and this emerald one it's so pretty. The way the light plays on the sequins and the silver fabric, just really, really pretty. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been inspired to get out some of your half-finished things and chip away at them, because unfortunately they don't just magically finish themselves. You actually have to put a little bit of effort into it. But I'm looking forward to beading these ones. It's just going to be so much fun. There's going to be lots of chandelier beading with lots of dripping down beads around the edges and on the cuffs of the shorter sleeved ones. And this one, see what I mean about the two different greens in there? So pretty. Oh my goodness. So I just listened to it all back. So these ridiculous sleeves that are sticking out so much, it's because I'm going to do a lot of beading, and so I need to do 2 layers of netting as a structural layer. This looked the same with those ridiculous sticking out sleeves, but then I weighted it down with all this beading, and now the sleeves look normal, and they are normal. So yes, all the jackets that I just showed you with those ridiculous sticking out sleeves, once they are beaded, they are going to look like normal jackets, promise, these ones here. But I just have to sort of, because there's going to be so much weight in beading, they have to start life with those ridiculous sticking out sleeves. So that's why they look odd. They look odd now, but they're going to look fabulous once they're beaded. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and happy sewing.